Hey, welcome back to edtech by Meera, and today I'm gonna do a very simple math game challenge in Python in which the user will be tested his math skill by giving some multiplication problems. So here we need to first import emoji. That's very simple. I explained earlier for showing some smiley sign and whatever, surprise sign and all that, nothing important. We are just doing it for fun's sake here in the game. Then print math game, or this is welcome to the math game, whatever you want to print, and then the print without any parameters to implement the print in the next line. So this is done. After this, we want to start the game straight away. So remember, in this game, there will be a scorecard will be there to keep a score counter every time you answer the questions correctly, so that we know that you got so-and-so score. Okay, then we create a for loop. So initial value of score is 0, of course. Then we create a for loop in for I in range 111. So considering the integers, I presuming is an integer, in the range of 1 and 11. Yeah. So what do? We create some variables here. So first variable we want to create is multiples, because the user will be told to identify some multiples of his choice. So my multiples, or multiple, whatever you want to name it as. So I call it my multiples equals integer function within the input function, name your multiples. So this is like given as a choice to the person who's playing the game, or who's a user, whatever. So we say name a number for your multiples. So this will be my multiples variable that is created by you. Then we create different variables. Another one, we create a variable called right answer. Now you can call it right, or you can call it right answer, you can call it answer. That's totally up to you. Or you can call it the solution also. So right answer, what is exactly the correct answer? It'll be as long as I is multiplied by my multiples, and I is in the range 1 to 11. So that should be the correct answer. Yeah, and the answer for that, whatever you get by multiplying the I, which is in the range of 1 and 11, multiplied by the my multiples given out by the user, that should be the right answer. For example, if I say 2 as my multiples, and then 1 multiplied by 2 is 2, so that should be my answer, correct answer, and so on until the range is completed. So then print out the different parameters, I, which is the range of the numbers, then the x, which is a multiplication sign, and then followed by my multiples. These are the things that's going to be considered as a parameters for printing. Okay, then your answer is another variable that we create, which is again an integer, cannot be decimal, right? So the multiples cannot be decimal. So this, your answer will be integer, and using the integer within the input function, the space, whatever way you want to give the space for giving the feedback or the input value from the user or the person who's playing the game. Yeah. So that's the answer. So if your answer, okay, the person who's playing the game, if your answer equals to the right answer we already defined above. So that means if you as a user playing the game, if you're able to give the exact correct answer, then what do I need to print out? Because you need to get some response, right, from the machine. So if your answer is the right answer, then we need to print out the print function. You got it right, or you got it correct, or correct answer, whatever you feel like. But as long as it indicates that the player has given the correct answer, so that has to be indicated as a response to the correct answer. So that's the if loop being created here. And then as the moment you give a correct answer, the user give a correct answer, score counter works. Score plus equal to 1 means score equals score plus 1. That means every time it will be added on. Yeah, from 0, 0 plus 1, then again another answer, 1 plus 1. So correct answers, so the score will keep on building up. increasing in that order. So that's why score plus equals to 1 means works as a counter. Then in the if loop, if your answer is right answer, we already mentioned what we will do. Else, that means if the answer is not correct, so obviously you don't need to give the score, right? So what you need to print out in the print function, wrong, your answer is not correct, whatever, and the right answer is so and so. You can say that, or if you want, even you don't need to do that. But here if you write like that, so that will be the right answer is comma, okay, and after that you have to write the right answer variable. You shouldn't remember not to write it within the string. It should be out of the string because right answer is a variable. So that should be one variable. Should be one situation where you don't give a correct answer, sorry. And then, okay, another condition. So one condition over. Another condition, if the score equal to means exact. So if the score equals to 10, that means that's the full marks, right? Between the range of 1 to 11, you'll be asking 10 questions. So if all the 10 answers are correct, then you can say something like, genius, you got it all right, or all your answers are correct. Whatever you want to say, that's up to you. And then we give the smiley with the sunglasses and stuff like that. Or if you don't want to give it there, don't need to give there also. That's totally up to you. That was just the fun part. Okay. So then after that, you need to come out of the loop and just print emoji.emojize. Remember in my last tutorial I explained about this. So that's the reason we imported emoji here, just to show some funny faces here. So print emoji.emojize, grinning face with big eyes. This is how you show the emoji symbols. The code for it is like this. Emoji. So grinning face with big eyes, or it could be just grinning face, or it could be smiley face. There are lots of it in the emoji dictionary. So you can pull out from there the code for this. Okay, I'll try to put it in the description for different emojis. So you already given the response for the genius who could answer it all right. And after that, finally, what you need to let's see if we have any other condition. So one condition is if the answer is a right answer, every time you have to run the score counter. Another condition is if the answer is not right at a particular point, then immediately respond by saying wrong answer. If the answer, another condition, if all the answers are correct, print genius, you got it all right, and give an emoji. Okay, now another condition is else. That means if the score is not equal to 10, maybe it's 7, or maybe it's 6, maybe it's 5, maybe 2 out of 10, meaning he didn't he didn't answer all the answers correctly, but he answered some of them correctly, something like that. Like he's not a winner. So you can say in that situation, print, you scored as a string within the string, yeah, and then the variables. So guess what the variables should be? The score, right? Because we already created a score variable which is running the counter of the score. So you scored so and so score, maybe 2 or whatever, out of, again, within the string. So out of 10 questions or correct or whatever you want to say, how many you got it right? You can say, actually you can also say out of 10 correct answers, or you can say out of 10 questions, whatever you can say, that's up to you, but score should be there. So let's run it and see if everything is okay. Maybe some coding problem here. Okay, indentation. Oh, Python, that's the main problem. Let's check there's any typo. Yeah, okay, supposed to come out of it. Yeah, okay. Oh, it was the first loop. Okay, name a number for your multiples. Sorry about the spelling mistake, but that's okay. Okay, 20. So 1 into 20 is supposed to be 20, right? So I need to answer 20. And sometimes I purposely intentionally give wrong answers. So please don't get me wrong. I'm not that weak in maths. Ha ha. Okay, 1 into 20, 20. So easy. Okay, then again name a number. I give it like 2. So 2 multi, because remember the I is in the range of 1 to 11. So it will keep on doing that. Okay, wrong answer. 2 by 2 is 4. I purposely gave it 5. Very funny. Name a number for your multiples. This reminds me of nursery school. Oh my god. Okay, 3 into 4 is 10. Ha ha. I feel so funny. Why did I test it out by giving wrong answer? Somebody is going to think, I don't know, 3, 4 is equal to 12. Okay, so I keep on doing this funny stuff, purposely wrong, purposely right, so that you get to know what's happening. See, every time it's correct, correct, every time wrong, wrong. And the right answer is 12. So that's what I'm testing out. So that's why when I give wrong answers, it gives the right answers for you, remember? Yeah, there, you see? There you go. Wrong, the right answer is so and so. So it's working. It's definitely working. No matter you give all the wrong answers, still it's working. So I keep on just fooling around with the numbers, multiplication table, just having fun with the code. That's how you should be doing. Every time you create a project, have fun with it, play with it, keep on testing it out. So then once you know the logic, remember knowing the logic of the game is most important. Then you will enjoy building the project, I mean. So keep on doing it. Yeah, I just keep on playing around with it. And remember to subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, so that you can support me in making more such tutorials in Python. So you scored 6 out of 10 correctly. Ha ha ha. Such simple answers. Okay, so you can also do this. You can try with different numbers and you can experiment and play around until you completely understand the concept, completely understand how the variables are created, like here, and why the variables were created, what is the concept of the game, what's actually the problem, and what answer you're supposed to give, what's the range, and what is exactly, how do you go about calculating it, and so on. Like you already know, it's range between 1 and 11. So that means it will give you 10 tries, 10 attempts. So in that 10 attempts, it will run your score as a counter and check it out. It will only give you a score when you give the right answer, and when you give a wrong answer, it will not give you a score, but it won't minus your score. It will just plus, it will not give you a score if you give a wrong answer. It will mention over there that you gave a wrong answer and that the correct answer is so and so. And then until and unless you are given those 10 attempts, it will keep on making you input the multiples of your choice and make you play the game. And finally, once all the 10 attempts are over, it'll say that whether you manage to answer all the questions or not. If you manage to answer all the questions, it will congratulate you with a grinning smile. And if you do not manage to answer all the attempts correctly, then it will give out your scorecard, like how much you scored out of 10. So that's the idea of playing this math challenge. I mean, that was the concept. And remember the I range, you can also test it out in your own way. Instead of 10 attempts, you can increase attempts. You can make it 100 attempts if you want to play for a longer time. That's totally up to you. So in your conditions, you can make slight changes to modify it and then practice it, so that you will actually fall in love with the game. And if you fall in love with the game, you'll fall in love with the project. And if you fall in love with the project, you will also know how to build a project more self-sufficiently, independently, and you will fall in love with the language itself, which is Python 3, the way I fell in love with Python. Because it's much easier to handle Python than most other languages because of its coding being more or less human-like, as you can see already. It's so human. The code syntax is very human, meaning very English-like. Yeah, so it's easier. Easy syntax, so easier to learn. So the concept you can figure out even faster. And then I'm using, as usual, the Replit code editor. And using the Replit code editor has its advantage in that it's very simple. It's like you can easily push the code from here to your GitHub repository. You can create repository right from here. And I will also include that tutorial in which I had explained how to push your code from your Replit code editor code file to your GitHub. I will include that tutorial here so that you can immediately do that for your records later. And it's quite simple. And over and above that, if you get stuck somewhere, your ChatGPT in Replit, if you activate it, will also help you clear your doubt. So that's the biggest advantage. So I think all should be fine now. There was a small problem here that's settled, yeah. So it should not be a problem. So just figuring it out and just trying to test it out again. Yeah, it's working. It's working. So I'll be including the GitHub file, code file also here, so that in case you get stuck, you can use that for your reference. And I really want you to comment there below how you felt playing this game and how you felt building this game. Yeah, this was part of my day 21 playing with Python, or rather learning Python on Replit, and I enjoyed learning it. And I thought I'll use it as a tutorial for other code beginners. I myself learned a lot from here, so I want to share my learnings with other beginners of Python also. And remember, this is completely for Python beginners, not for experts. So please spare me if you as an expert feel this is too simple. I'm sorry about that. It's not for you. It's only for Python beginners. Yeah. So remember to smash that subscribe button if you are a Python beginner or going to learn Python or learning it as a beginner. See you in the next. Until then, enjoy the game. Subscribe and enjoy the game.